Welcome back. In Haiti, the situation continues to be critical, with high numbers of human rights violations, millions internally displaced, and a capital mostly controlled by criminal armed groups. International affairs analyst Danny Shaw is currently in country. Let's welcome him to talk more on what Haiti is experiencing. Welcome, Danny Shaw, again to From the South.
Greetings from Haiti. Thank you for the invitation.
It's our pleasure. Danny, unfortunately, the situation in Haiti tends to fly under the radar in terms of widespread media coverage. Can you paint a picture of the current situation on the ground in Port-au-Prince? Beyond territorial control, how are these armed groups impacting the daily lives of ordinary Haitians? Access to food, water, healthcare, and basic movement.
The situation here is extremely difficult. The blockade of Haiti, the U.S. Western Core Group blockade of Haiti, it's a financial blockade. People wait in line and at Western Union or Soje Bank for days, and um, they're not able to access much needed money. There's a media blockade against Haiti. There's not clarification on why these paramilitaries continue to receive how many hundreds of thousands of guns, of bullets. They just caught the Dominican government again, allowing how much of their um, guns, of the military and the police's guns, to leak into Haiti. So the Haitian people always explain this is a planned, organized, hybrid war, a multifaceted war against Haiti, against Haiti's quest for self-determination. I've been working here outside of the capital, Port-au-Prince, with different popular organizations, and we're asking the same question that teleSUR has asked: how do we block this informational blockade? The number one thing you hear from Haitians across the country, I've been traveling hundreds of miles, keeping us as safe as possible. But the number one thing you hear over and over is United States, international community, please stop sending all of these guns. These are the guns that Jimmy Cherizier, Barbecue, and Ezo, and all of these warlords from Vive Ensemble, the name of the paramilitary coalition, they're using these guns to murder, displace, humiliate, and destabilize the Haitian masses, which have historically been the backbone of struggle here in Haiti, whether it was fighting for Lavalas and Aristide, or whether it was resisting the UN Brazilian Minister U.S. Occupation. It's these masses of people who are being displaced. The gangs have a discourse in social media that they're somehow revolutionary on YouTube, on Twitter, but never once have they actually attacked the oligarchs or the imperialists. It's the masses of malheureux. Malheureux means the poorest of the poor, the most vulnerable and dispossessed, or attacked every day by these gangs, by these, what the Haitian people call terrorists.
When the Kenya-led mission was approved, many condemned it, including Haitians, so if we have nothing to show in terms of the mission achieving any of its goal. What are the realistic prospects for this mission, given the complexity of the threat and past failures of international interventions in Haiti, and what are the biggest risks?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and we have to unpack at every level. We could really say right now that it's Eric Prince versus Barbecue, the former executive of BlackRock, against the paramilitary gang leader, Jimmy Cherizier, with the Haitian people trapped in the middle. The Haitian people are truly before two occupations. That's what I continue to see, whether I'm in the south of the country, the north of the country, the outskirts of the capital, which is in the center of the country. Eric Prince continues to have a drone war, and supposedly the drone war is on these gangs. But every gang member that might be killed is usually 100 to 1,000 everyday Haitians who are displaced. So the idea of a second militarized occupation, basically it's U.S. guns for hire coming in, whether it's in the form of private mercenaries like Eric Prince or Marco Rubio, which has now floated the idea of the Organization of American States intervening, the same way they did in the Dominican Republic in 1965 to turn back that revolution on April 28th, 1965. Whatever combination of government forces, of private forces, this is not a good thing for the Haitian people. Of course, there's already the Kenyan soldiers, the Salvadorian soldiers. These are they're on the payroll. of the U.S., first under Biden, now under Trump and Marco Rubio. So it's very interesting. You have the indirect occupation through the gangs, which have now cleared out. We're talking about mass displacement, 1.3 million people, according to the latest studies by the United Nations and these other World Health Organizations, 1.3 million people displaced. And now you have these private security forces coming in, which are only going to create more displacement and more war. And Jimmy Cherizier has said, well, if they can get drones with all of the money that we have from the cocaine dealing and the drug dealing, the kidnapping of Haitians, they have their own criminal economy. They're going to get their own drones and try to fight back against the Haitian National Police, which are working with the forces that I mentioned. So it's really a difficult situation. The Haitians talk about how this is the David versus an army of Goliaths, and they're just trying to survive. They don't remember the last time that they've been able to live. So much of what I'm saying comes directly from the Haitian leaders, many of whom are sitting with me behind me. The thing is that because of the language, it's a lot easy for me to translate these ideas.
Then many analysts agree that the so-called international community bears significant responsibility through historical interference, support for destabilizing actions, or simply neglect. What specific actions or inactions by key international players, I'm referring to the US and the likes, you were also referring to them, have contributed to the current impasse, and what should be done differently?
Yeah, I think we also have to mention the massive cocaine industry. This is something that's not talked about a lot, but a high percentage. I read a study that 60% of Colombian cocaine entering into the Western world, the U.S. and the European countries, comes through Haiti because Haiti is so destabilized, because there's no functioning state. We could call it a failed state. We could call it a colonial, corrupt state. When you talk about the cocaine industry, you're talking about a $1 trillion industry. So there's no question that U.S. intelligence, the CIA, the DEA, Biden pulled the plug on the DEA right after they had a major bust in Haiti. The Haitian people tell us every day this is an organized, planned chaos. This has CIA and U.S. intelligence and DEA written all over it. So Haiti's up against very, very powerful enemies. I see my job as a journalist, photographer, to get these voices out, to try to translate these voices, because the Haitian people feel extremely isolated, like they've been forgotten about. They see a lot of similarities with the headlines you had earlier about Gaza. This is the Palestine of the Caribbean, where the people are trying to defend themselves and organize. But how can you organize against a paramilitary army that just in Port-au-Prince, the capital of some 3 million people, has already displaced more than 1/3 of the capital, occupies about 90% of the capital. So the Haitian people feel extremely overwhelmed by the number of enemies they're up against.
Danny, one very quick final question. What is your final message to the international community about the urgency that the Haitians need to go over this crisis?
People are articulating that they feel like this is an extermination campaign. They see new construction, new international investment, capital investment around their national airport, which is shut down. So there's a travel blockade against Haiti as well. We see the Dominican Republic, the minions of the U.S., Luis Abinader, deporting all of these Haitians. Trump says that he's going to end TPS in about a month's time. That could mean 500,000 Haitians are at risk in the U.S. of being deported and being deported back to what? Back to an inferno where U.S. guns and U.S. Cocaine as well, because they're the ones that ultimately benefit from it, the big international drug dealers. And it's the Haitian people who are trapped in the middle. The Haitian people don't see the U.S. and France and Canada, the core group, is somehow representing the international community. When the Haitians talk about an international community, they're thinking of their neighbors in Cuba. I mean, I can almost see Cuba from where I am in the northwest of the country. They're thinking of Venezuela. They're thinking of the Chinese and the Russians. They're thinking of multipolarity. The future of Haiti, if it continues to run through Miami, Washington, Paris, and Montreal, will be more servitude, slavery, colonization, and even genocide. If the future of Haiti runs through Caracas, Havana, Managua, uh, 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 Johannesburg, Beijing, Moscow, and there's hope for Haiti, and it's important too for the Sahel states with everyone's new favorite Ernesto Che Guevara on social media, Ibrahim Traore, for him to pay special close attention to what's happening to Haiti, because there's a lot of misinformation in terms of this war. This is a paramilitary war, a gang war. Jimmy Chirizier may say something different. I've interviewed thousands and thousands of Haitians. This is an all-out total imperialist war on the Haitian people.
Thank you very much, Danny, for your inputs and for your time hearing from the South.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
It was a pleasure.